I thought I was alone. I thought my secret was safe. But then she walked in, and everything changed forever. I wasn't supposed to be doing this. Not here. Not now. But temptation is a funny thing. It whispers in your ear when you least expect it, convincing you that one more time won't hurt. I stood in front of my mirror, my heart pounding as I fastened the delicate buttons of the satin blouse. The silky fabric draped over my skin, sending a shiver down my spine. I had done this countless times before, but tonight felt different. Maybe it was the thrill of secrecy. Maybe it was the fear of getting caught. Or maybe, just maybe, it was because I wasn't sure if I wanted to stop anymore. The soft brush of mascara against my lashes, the delicate click of high heels on the wooden floor. With every step, every movement, I felt like I was stepping deeper into a world I wasn't sure I could escape from. And then, a door creaked open. I froze, my breath hitched in my throat. No, this isn't happening. But it was. And when I turned around, she was standing there. My mom. Her eyes widened, her lips parted, and then she smiled. You make a prettier daughter than I ever imagined. What just hey ppne? I never thought this day would come. For years, I had carefully built my secret world, a hidden part of me that no one knew about, not my friends, not my girlfriend Emma, and certainly not my mom. It was my escape. Late at night, when the house was silent and everyone was asleep, I would step into my other self, the one I couldn't show the world. A dress, a touch of makeup, the soft click of high heels. And for a few stolen moments, I wasn't just me. I was someone else. Someone free. But secrets have a way of slipping through the cracks. And mine shattered in the worst way possible. It all started with one innocent afternoon. Emma was away for the weekend, visiting her family. Mom had told me she'd be out all day running errands. The house was mine. For the first time in weeks, I had hours-long, uninterrupted hours to finally be myself. I'd opened my closet, my heart racing with excitement. Hidden behind my everyday clothes, in a small box tucked away at the back, was my secret wardrobe. Dresses, skirts, stockings, each piece carefully folded, untouched for too long. I pulled out my favorite outfit, a pastel pink dress with delicate lace at the edges. It was soft, beautiful, and every time I wore it, I felt like I was stepping into a different world. With trembling hands, I slipped into it. The fabric hugged my body perfectly. I moved to the mirror, my reflection staring back at me. But I wasn't looking at the person the world knew. I was looking at her, the version of me I had always kept hidden. I reached for my makeup, my fingers brushing over the cool metal of the lipstick tube. A soft pink shade, just a little, just enough to feel real. Then mascara. Then a wig, long, flowing, cascading over my shoulders like silk. Then the final touch, a pair of heels. Click, click. I took a step, then another. Confidence flooded through me. For the first time in weeks, I felt alive. I twirled in front of the mirror, laughing softly at my reflection. If only the world could see me now, I whispered. I imagined what Emma would say if she knew. Would she laugh? Would she be horrified? Would she understand? I shook my head. No. This was my secret. No one could ever know. But then, a noise. A sound so small, so quiet, that I almost didn't hear it. But I did. And my blood ran cold. A creak, a shift. The unmistakable sound of the front door opening. Panic gripped my chest. No. Mom was supposed to be out. She wasn't supposed to be here. But the unmistakable sound of her footsteps echoed through the house. Closer, closer. I spun around, searching for a place to hide. Too late. Because in that moment, the door to my room swung open. And there she was. The silence was deafening. For what felt like an eternity, neither of us spoke. Mom stood in the doorway, her eyes wide, her mouth slightly open. Her gaze traveled over me, the dress, the heels, the wig, the makeup. She saw everything. I couldn't breathe. Time seemed to stop. Then she did something I never expected. She smiled. And in the softest, calmest voice, she whispered, "You make a prettier daughter than I ever imagined." The door was open. Mom was standing there. She had seen everything. The dress, the makeup, the heels, the wig. Me, my real self, the one I had spent years hiding, was now fully exposed. I felt frozen, like my body had forgotten how to move. My heart pounded in my chest so loudly that I could hear it echo in my ears. This wasn't supposed to happen. Mom wasn't supposed to be here. I had planned everything so carefully, made sure I had the house to myself, and yet, here she was standing just a few feet away, looking at me in a way I couldn't understand. And then she said it. "You make a prettier daughter than I ever imagined." The words hit me like a bolt of lightning. What did she mean by that? Was she mocking me? Was she furious? I searched her face for answers, but her expression remained unreadable, her eyes scanning over me, her lips pressed together, like she was trying to figure out what to say next. I wanted to run. I wanted to disappear. But I couldn't move. Seconds stretched into eternity. I finally forced myself to take a shaky breath. "Mom, this isn't..." But before I could finish, she stepped into the room, closing the door behind her. Click. The soft sound of the door shutting sent a chill down my spine. I swallowed hard, my hands trembling as I instinctively reached up to touch my wig, as if somehow I could undo what had just happened. But it was too late for that. Mom took another step closer. "How long?" she asked. Her voice wasn't angry. It wasn't harsh. It was curious. I hesitated. I couldn't find the words. How long had it been? Months? Years? Did it even matter now? I lowered my gaze, staring down at my hands, my manicured nails, painted in a soft, innocent pink. Finally, I whispered, "A while." That was the best answer I could give. Mom nodded slowly, her eyes never leaving me. Then she did something unexpected. She walked over to my vanity table, picking up my lipstick, the very one I had just used minutes ago. She turned it over in her fingers, her expression thoughtful. Then she looked at me again. "You've gotten good at this." I didn't know what to say. I had imagined so many different scenarios if I ever got caught: anger, confusion, disappointment. But this was something else entirely. She wasn't yelling. She wasn't demanding explanations. She was observing, analyzing, like she was trying to put the pieces together in her mind. I finally found my voice. "Mom, are you mad?" She exhaled, setting the lipstick down with a small clink. "I don't know." Honest, direct. That scared me more than anything. She sat down on the edge of my bed, watching me closely. "I just don't understand," she admitted. "I've raised you your whole life, and somehow I never saw this coming." My stomach twisted. I hated that she felt like she didn't know me. But how could she? I had spent so much time hiding this part of myself, making sure no one ever found out. And now it was all out in the open. I had no control over the narrative anymore. "It's not what you think," I said quickly. "I'm not..." I hesitated. What was I about to say? I wasn't what? A cross-dresser? A girl? A fraud? I didn't even know how to finish the sentence. But Mom was still waiting for an answer. So I gave her the only truth I knew. "I don't know what this means. I just know it's a part of me." The words felt heavy, but also freeing. For the first time, I wasn't hiding. I wasn't pretending. I was just me. Mom didn't speak right away. She just sat there, as if she were weighing my words carefully. Then she sighed. "I wish you had told me." I blinked. "What?" She looked at me, sadness flickering in her eyes. "I wish you hadn't gone through this alone. I wish you had trusted me." Guilt crashed over me like a wave. Had I really shut her out that badly? Had I been so afraid of what she'd think that I never even tried to let her in? I felt my throat tighten. I didn't know how, I admitted. I didn't want you to hate me. Her face softened. I could never hate you. Tears burned behind my eyes, but I refused to let them fall. This was too much, too raw, too real. I wasn't ready for this conversation, but Mom wasn't done yet. She stood up, walked toward me then. In a move that shocked me completely, she reached for my hair. Or rather, my wig. Before I could react, she gently tucked a stray strand behind my ear, just like she used to do when I was little. Her touch was soft, deliberate. Then she whispered, "I meant what I said." I swallowed. "About what?" Her eyes met mine. "You do make a pretty daughter." And for the first time in my life, I believed her. I couldn't breathe. Mom's words echoed in my head like a broken record. "You do make a pretty daughter." I had spent my entire life hiding, terrified of what would happen if someone saw the real me. And now, in the span of a few minutes, my deepest secret was no longer mine alone. I wasn't sure if I should feel relieved or terrified. Mom sat back on the bed, her gaze still fixed on me. "So, what happens now?" she asked. I blinked, struggling to find an answer. Because honestly, I had no idea. I felt exposed, vulnerable, like I was standing in the middle of a storm without an umbrella. I could still feel the weight of my wig, the smoothness of my makeup, the tightness of the dress hugging my body. Every sensation, every tiny detail, felt magnified under Mom's stare. I had to say something. I don't know, I admitted, my voice barely above a whisper. Mom sighed, rubbing her temples like she was trying to make sense of everything. "I mean, do you do this all the time? Or was this just a one-time thing?" I swallowed hard. "It's not just a one-time thing." There. I said it. The truth, raw and exposed. Mom didn't look shocked. If anything, she just looked thoughtful. "And does Emma know?" she asked. My heart stopped. Emma, my girlfriend, the person I had been keeping this secret from for so long. I had barely processed that my mother had found out, and now the idea of Emma knowing, it was too much. "No," I admitted, my voice shaking. "She doesn't." Mom sighed again, leaning forward. "Then what are you going to do?" I wished I had an answer. I wished I could say something confident, something that would make this all make sense. But the truth was, I had no idea what came next. Mom stood up, pacing the room. "All right," she finally said. "If you're going to do this, then you need to do it right." I frowned. "What do you mean?" She turned to face me, arms crossed. "Well, if you're going to be my daughter, you can't just halfway do it. The makeup needs work. The dress is cute, but the fit is off. And those heels, you walk like a newborn deer in them." My face burned. "Mom," she snapped. "What? If you're serious about this, you should learn properly, right?" I didn't know whether to be embarrassed or touched. Because, for the first time, she wasn't treating this like something shameful. She was treating it like something real. Something that mattered. "So," she continued, "if you're ready, I'll help you." I should have said no. I should have told her this was all too much, that I wasn't ready. But instead, I nodded. And just like that, my life changed forever. I should have said no. I should have told Mom this was all too much. That I wasn't ready. That I could figure things out on my own. But instead, I nodded. And that one simple action changed my life forever. "All right then," Mom said, clapping her hands. "Let's get started." I blinked. "Started? On what?" Mom gave me a look. "Your training, of course. If you're going to do this, you need to do it right. No half measures." I felt my stomach twist. "Training?" I echoed, my voice barely above a whisper. She smirked. Welcome to the feminization challenge. My breath caught. Mom, this isn't some game. Oh, I know. She stepped closer, tilting her head. But it might as well be fun, right? I swallowed hard. Was I really doing this? Mom sat me down at her vanity, pulling out an overwhelming collection of makeup, jewelry, and accessories. First things first, she said, holding up a mascara wand. Makeup is essential. You've got the basics, but if you're going to pass as my daughter, you need to perfect it. Pass. I repeated, feeling my heart race. She smirked. Of course, you don't just look like a girl, you become one. A shiver ran down my spine. I wasn't sure if it was excitement or fear. But deep down, I knew one thing. There was no turning back now. Mom placed a pair of sky-high stilettos in front of me. I stared at them. You're kidding. She raised an eyebrow. Do I look like I'm kidding? I hesitated before slipping my feet into the heels. The moment I stood up, my ankles wobbled dangerously. Mom stifled a laugh. Oh dear, we have so much work to do. I took a hesitant step forward and nearly collapsed. Mom caught me before I hit the floor, shaking her head. Rule number 1, always keep your balance. Walk with confidence. Confidence? I gasped. Mom, I can barely stand. Then you better learn fast, sweetheart. She winked. Because tomorrow we're going out. My heart stopped. Out? Mum, she grinned. I need a shopping partner. And you, my dear, are going to be my daughter for the day. Panic surged through me. But what if someone recognizes me? What if Emma sees me? Mom crossed her arms. Then you'd better make sure they don't. I wanted to say no. I wanted to back out, to run to my room, throw off the dress, and pretend none of this had ever happened. But Mom wasn't giving me a choice. A deal is a deal, she reminded me, crossing her arms. You agreed to the feminization challenge, and now it's time for the next step. My heart pounded. But what if someone recognizes me? Mom smirked. Then we'll just have to make sure they don't. Mom led me back to her vanity and perfected my makeup, darkening my eyeliner, softening my lips with a rosy pink, and blending my foundation until my skin looked flawless. There, she said, taking a step back. No one will ever suspect a thing. I turned to the mirror and froze. The person staring back at me wasn't me. She was someone else. A girl. My lips parted in shock. Is that really me? I whispered. Mom grinned. Of course, sweetheart. And trust me, this is just the beginning. Mom pulled out an outfit that made my stomach twist. A flowy pink sundress with matching heels and a cute handbag. You want me to wear that? Of course, she said matter-of-factly. You're my daughter today, remember? I swallowed hard and slipped the dress over my head. It was light, airy, and terrifyingly comfortable. Mom clapped her hands. Absolutely perfect. Now let's go. The second I stepped outside, my anxiety skyrocketed. I tugged at the hem of my dress, my legs feeling exposed in the cool breeze. Relax, Mom said as we got into the car. You look natural. That's easy for you to say, I hissed. You're not the one cross-dressing in public. She just smiled. Trust me, sweetie. By the end of the day, you'll be more comfortable than ever. I wasn't sure whether that thought was comforting or terrifying. We pulled into the parking lot and I froze. The mall was packed. Hundreds of people. So many chances to get caught. Mom nudged me. Come on, sweetheart. A lady doesn't hesitate. I took a deep breath and stepped out of the car. As soon as we entered the mall, I felt eyes on me. Were they staring? Did they know? I kept my head down, gripping my handbag so tightly my fingers ached. Relax, Mom whispered. No one suspects a thing. That's when I heard a voice that nearly stopped my heart. Hey, is that? I turned my head and came face to face with Emma. My heart stopped. Emma was right there. My girlfriend, my best friend, the person I've been hiding this from for so long. Her eyes locked onto me. She squinted. "Hey, you look familiar." I nearly fainted. Mom, cool as ever, gently placed a hand on my back. "Sweetheart, don't just stand there, say hello." I wanted to scream. Say hello, say hello. I was standing here, in full girl mode, wearing a pink dress, heels, and makeup, and she wanted me to just say hi. But I had no choice. If I ran, it would look suspicious. If I hesitated too long, Emma would figure it out. I swallowed hard and forced a soft, feminine voice. "Oh, hi." Emma tilted her head. "Do I know you?" I fake laughed. "I don't think so. Haha, I get that a lot." Mom jumped in. "This is my daughter, Emily. She's visiting from out of town." "Emily?" I almost choked. Emma's eyes darted back to me. She wasn't convinced. "Weird," she muttered. "You remind me of someone I know." My stomach twisted. Was I caught? Mom must have sensed my panic because she acted fast. "Emily dear," she said sweetly, "we really should get going. We have a spa appointment." Emma's face lit up. "Oh, that sounds fun. Where are you going?" Mom didn't hesitate. "Oh, it's this private little place, really exclusive. You probably wouldn't have heard of it." Emma pouted. "Lucky. Well, I hope you have fun, Emily." And just like that, she walked away. I exhaled so hard I almost collapsed. As soon as Emma was gone, I turned to Mom. "What was that?" I whisper-yelled. She just smirked. "You did great, sweetheart. See, you're getting the hang of this." I wanted to argue, to tell her that this was too far, too risky. But part of me, a tiny, traitorous part of me, felt excited. I had just fooled my own girlfriend, and it thrilled me. What happens next? Will Emma realize the truth later? What if she sees Emily again? Comment below. Do you think Emma suspects anything? Like, share, and subscribe for the next part.